I'm not a morning person.
Dedicated to being passionate about it.
Bodybuilders have become more lazy.
People have always thought I lift fake weights.
Iran and the United States.
You take responsibility for that.
Last thing I want to ask you, I want to get your thoughts on Olympia 2020. And also want to ask you a little bit about the new school of bodybuilders. But how did you feel about Ramy winning?
Loved it.
And how do you feel, what do you think it means for bodybuilding? Where it's going to go in the future, direction of Olympia and so on and so forth?
I mean, first off, Ramy has become such a household name in bodybuilding.
Mm-hmm.
And to see him, I mean, how about the courage it takes for that guy to do what he did? How about the dedication? That guy year after year came back trying to get better and better and better. And I thought he rightfully won. I loved his physique. I love what he did. And I love how, I mean, you're seeing so many great bodybuilders come out of the Middle East, right? And I love that. And if anybody thinks that bodybuilding is an American sport, and it should be, like, you're out of your damn mind. One of the greatest bodybuilders of all time, Arnold, wasn't born here. So get that out of your mind right away, right? If American bodybuilders want to take the sport back, start putting the work in, right? You see a lot of American bodybuilders go over to the Middle East. The fact of the matter is you're seeing a lot of great guys, Hadi, and you're seeing great bodybuilders come out of the Middle East, which I love. It's opening up the sport. It's opening up the fan base. You know, I think it's great for race relations. I think it's great for the sport. I think it's great for people in general. The one thing I always preach, and something, you know, what pissed me off most about the pandemic was they shut down gyms. What's the one place you can go where nobody gives a flying about what color your skin is or who you voted for, or what you do, that they only care about what you do in that gym? Is the gym, right? Like, I tell people the first gym I ever walked into when I was 17, 18 years old, Powerhouse Gym on Elston and Lawrence in Chicago. Tough neighborhood. Bunch of hardcore Polish and Black and Mexican and Puerto Rican and Asian. Like, you walked in that gym, I was probably one of the only white people there. And within a week, I was with one of their brothers. And till today, I go home, I go back to the gym, I see the guys I trained with 15, 16, 17 years ago, and we're still like family, man. But there's one place that you can feel safe, where your skin color does not mean a damn thing of where you're from or what God you believe in or who you voted for. If you're a Trump guy or you're a Biden guy or you're an anti-vet, nobody gives a about that. Shit does not matter in the gym. The gym is all about your respect that you give the sport, that you give the people around you. It's a brother sisterhood. It's about how hard you're going to work. That's what gives you, you know, that's what's going to put you in the gym and put you amongst those other people. So I loved it, man. I loved that he won. I thought he had a phenomenal physique, like I said. I love that this sport is starting to open up to other parts of the world like it hasn't before. And I think it's a challenge. I think it's a little bit of a challenge for some of the American bodybuilders and some of the other, you know, places around the world to say, hey, man, step it up, because the Middle East is kicking your ass right now. Like, guys coming out of that Oxygen gym and guys coming, you know, from over there, their physiques are unbelievable. Yeah. They live this sport. Like, I remember when Brandon went over there and trained before he became Mr. Olympia. His lifestyle was gym, eat, eat. And that's how it used to be here in the 70s. If you remember, like, back in the early days of like Venice Golds and stuff, and like those guys, they would go to Venice 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, train for a few hours, eat, hang around Golds, and they go right back to work and train a second time, go home, eat, do the same thing again the next day. So maybe some of these, you know, guys that want to take that title and that, you know, name badge should get off social media, stop worrying so much about the BS, and get back to work. So,
are you seeing any, like, a rising star? Because I know you have a good eye for talent, right? Are you seeing a rising star? Like, there's guys like Hunter Labrada, Nick Walker, Blessing. Are you seeing a rising star that's you know, in the next few years can take the throne?
I think that's a pretty funny question. It was funny, you know, I reached out to C-Bum, to Bumstead, probably. I have the message too, and I sent him a message not too long ago after he won again. But I remember seeing his physique 5-6 years ago. It was like 2016, I think, 2015, 2016. I sent him a DM. I was like, hey, man, you know, he didn't know. I mean, he knew of me because of social media, because at that time we were doing some big things. But like, yo, man, like, your physique is impressive. Wow, you're going to do some great things. And it's all because, I'll tell you what, when I was first training Golds when I was 24 years old, Jay Cutler, and he'll tell you this story too. Jay Cutler came up to me out of nowhere, tapped me on the shoulder, and I turned around and he was like, hey, kid, you look great. You want to do an interview? I was just like, Jay Cutler. I'm like, what? And until this, like, that was something that really inspired me. And he told me, he said, kid, you're going to do some great things in the sport. And he always gave me great motivation, talked always very positive about me. And he's one of the people I'm very thankful for. I think Nick Walker is great. He's competing this weekend. I believe New York Pro is this weekend. They're competing. Not in New York though.
I think it's in Florida, but it's New York Pro. Yeah.
Okay, funny. Like, USA's are in Vegas. The Olympia's not in Vegas. The Pro's not in New York. Can we get back to normal? This is getting ridiculous. Anyways, Hunter Labrada, amazing physique. Blessing. I mean, that kid. I think he's great for the sport. He's very. How do I say this? Got a lot of personality, right? He brings a lot of character to the stage. He's not quiet, and I love that. I love there was a little bit of beef between him and Nick. I didn't get too involved into it, but I like that. It's good for the sport. It creates, some, everybody's always going to talk about Phil and Kai. Like when Phil and Kai had beef and they got on stage next to each other, that was probably the most Olympia finals ever.
Yeah,
right? Now, there's one thing about being disrespectful. I'm not saying get disrespectful. Like, you can talk a little bit, you can chirp a little bit and, have some confidence. Arnold did the same thing, but you have to keep it respectful. You can't, there's lines you don't cross, levels of respect you don't cross.